Okay. All right. So sorry for that hitch. We're back up now. Hopefully we will not do this again. So, okay. So you learn to say no, to let your team focus on the core objectives. As a team leader in the workplace, you are the captain of that ship. If you are the team leader, you are the captain of that ship. That means that the responsibility for the direction the business is going lies squarely on your shoulders. So you are the team lead. You understand what the core objectives of the team is. It's your responsibility, since you see you can oversee everything that is happening. So if you are going, if you're going doing things right, which I expect that you are, it means then that you are probably established some smart goals for your business, for your team, for your unit. So it is on you now to evaluate if these daily decisions you make steer your business towards those goals. Steer your teams towards those goals. Somebody is responsible for the overall objective. Somebody is responsible for the core objective of that department or company or whatever it is. So when you are confronted with ideas that can change that course, you should be able to have the courage and conviction to say no. Wherever you find yourself, even if it means standing up. When I say standing up, I'm not saying in a rude way. Standing up to management, telling them your own piece. Let me just talk like if you're a manager or you are a unit head, because I will talk more on that. What it means that you understand the core objectives of your team and your department. So an idea can come from somewhere else. It can come from the board, it can come from the management that might be able to disrupt the balance, the equilibrium of your department. Or somebody brings up an idea, is a suggestion. Let me give you an example. I have a manager. This manager was ambitious. He was mindful of what he wanted to do. He wanted to climb the corporate ladder at all costs. So he came to do a presentation to top management. And one of the top management guys, not even in his own division, just said to him, "Oh, young chap, we like what you're doing. We see that you're material for management. You're material that will work in management. See, why don't you try so and so idea? I think it will work." That idea, the guy said, "Okay, sir, we'll try it." Then a week after, the guy asked him and said, "Look, have you tried that idea? It's just a suggestion." In order to please this man, because he feels that this man might be helpful in his career, in his climbing in his career. So what he now did was to accept that idea. They worked on that idea, him knowing fully well that that idea will not work with the overall objective of that department, just because he had a personal ambition. So, and at the end of the day, it was detrimental to the project that they had at hand. So you must be careful. Look, let me tell you, there are ideas are 10 for what do they say? 10 for a dozen or for a dime or something like that. So ideas are everywhere. So good ideas are everywhere. If you don't really check ideas, and you don't check the inflow of ideas, the inflow of suggestions into your team or your company, it might derail you. So be careful the things that you take in, it might derail you. When it comes to that, no matter what, you tell them, "Sir, please, no." You can also politely tell your boss, your MD, no. But you're not going to tell him no directly. Example, I've had a situation where I'm given an assignment, I'm given a job. And in that job and in that assignment, This man comes up with another assignment and say, okay, can we quickly do this? I know that you guys are on this project. Can we do a smaller project? And I politely said to him, sir, are we to halt this one? Can we halt this one for like 1-2 weeks? I know that the client is saying that they want, this is the deadline, but can we halt it for 2 weeks so that we can face this? So he said, no. I don't want anything to disrupt this one. I said, okay. So he by himself says, okay, you guys finish this, you come back to this. So there's a polite way to say no to your boss, even if it's your managing director. There's a polite way to say no to him, and it will not affect you in any way. So you must be able to, when you are heading any team, any department, any business, please be mindful of the core objectives, and anything that can disrupt it, please be ready to say no to it. Okay, so say no to allow yourself, say no to allow yourself to focus on your core objectives. You must say no to yourself to allow yourself focus on your own core objectives. Everybody has a core objective. Everybody should have a core objective, core values that they hold dear. Core values. You must have work and life balance. Those things must be things that you will have a boundary in life. Just as entrepreneurs are advised to separate their personal finances from the company's finances, so also you must separate your own personal goals from your business goals. When things begin to tilt in favor of work over personal goals, you see that you will quickly burn out and you find yourself under undue stress. We must learn, no matter what, no matter who we are trying to impress, you must learn to say no. Caring for your own health is one of the qualities of successful people. I've seen some people, they plan a holiday to take their families and travel, only for them to go to management meeting and they say, look, we are starting a new project, and they call them, you come and Uche, come and head this project. You've already bought tickets, you know within the next 1 month you're traveling, and you tell your family, okay, no, just hold on, let me do this. You should be able to say no. It's not every project that is for you. Let me tell you, you can collapse. Once you collapse, people say, yeah, you are in the hospital. Somebody will take over that position. You are still in the hospital, somebody will take that position. And there's a way before you can recover. If that person is doing better, when you come, they will send you to another department. You won't even come back there again. You know why? Because the company is focused on their own core objectives to also make sure that business is going on without anything halting it in any way or any form. You need a vacation. Learn to say no. You know, in government settings, my brother that is in government was telling me that he was in a department, and that department, they don't go on leave. And when he told them that after 2 years, he didn't understand why he wouldn't go on leave. It's because they make so much money and they are afraid that when they go on leave, they might not be able to come back. And people are there putting themselves and their health in danger because of money. How much are you going to earn? Have you seen people in the hospital on a dying bed, or you see people in orthopedic hospital? They don't care how much they have. They are screaming and they are yelling and asking that, please help me. At that point, money doesn't matter. Learn to say no. Many people have sacrificed their health. They have sacrificed their families, their marriages on the altar of their jobs. It's not worth it. It's not worth it, because you get to the top, there is no wife to celebrate your success. You might have heard so many stories of men that sacrifice everything to get to the top of company, and when they become executive management, they enter executive management. What happens that every day they come back home to a quiet house. Every day they are lonely. They've achieved everything, but no wife, no kids. You must be able to say no. Even as a contractor, as a business person, it's not every contract you take. You must be able to say no. You must be able to say no. If somebody tells you, bring your company name and let's use it to source for a government job, but we will not do it, you should be able to say no, because the repercussions are great. When they come after you, when you will wake up one day, there's a Pharaoh that does not know Joseph. EFCC will come after you. And at the end of the day, you'll be saying, I didn't do the job, but your company name is there. You should be able to learn to say no. Even if you know that this money is good for now, learn to say no. Every job is not for you. Every contract is not for you. Everything in the line of trying to say, oh, I want to be promoted, and you are sacrificing a lot, is not worth it. There's nothing that is worth taking so much of your time that 3-4 days in a week you will not be there to see your children and to tell them bedtime stories. There's nothing that is worth it. There's no job that is worth it, that you will not have one whole day to sit and watch a movie, watch a sitcom with your wife. Is not worth it. There's no job that is worth it that you don't even know, you are not able to for 2 hours sit with your family and just gist with them. Is not worth it. There's no work that is worth it, that will not give you time to go to the village to go and see your parents. It's not worth it. What will it benefit you to be the top executive of the year, but you have no family? You have no time for your parents. You have no time for anything because you want to say no. Learn to say no. It is not worth it. It is not worth it. These kids, they grow up so fast that you might be saying, oh, next week, oh, next year, oh, by the time I become general manager, I will have time for them. By the time you become general manager, they are teenagers heading to university, and you don't know them, they don't know you. Your kids don't know, they greet you every morning. By the time you become general manager, you want to play with them. As you are coming, they are running. You are upstairs, they are downstairs. They are downstairs, you are upstairs. Wherever you are coming to the house, they are leaving because they don't know you. You are like a stranger. Learn to say no. Okay. Another reason why you should learn to say no is that when you say no as a team leader, you give people opportunity to say yes. I've served under somebody that wants to take all the jobs. He wants all the glory. So they will push job to the department. This team lead wants to do everything until one day he collapsed. He was sick. It started as malaria, but he didn't come back to work till 3 months. Until 3 months. He didn't really tell us what was wrong with him. See, when you say no as a team lead, I won't do this one. You give another person opportunity to say yes. You cannot do everything. You will burn out and put yourself under undue stress. It will become stressful to take away. Try to learn, take away. Do not take away the learning opportunities from everyone else that is around you. Because you are the boss and you're always taking up this responsibility, you're not giving people else in your team opportunity to say, yes, let me even try. Because you have been successful for so long, your success might be intimidating others. When you are successful, people will say, is it me that will come and do it? But you say, no, somebody else should please try. delegate some of these tasks. Say, no, I won't do it. Even if you are the MD of a company, delegate authority to people and watch them do it. Even if they are making mistakes, guide them, but watch them do it so that they will become better at it, and you'll be able to have time to rest. Delegating effectively can be good for you and your team. It gives room for your team to stretch their skills and to show that you trust them to get important stuff done. So in the workplace, saying no as the boss helps somebody else to say yes. Say no to doing everything. Allow people to grow. Allow people to grow. Pastors, allow your pastors, your fellow younger pastors to grow. Don't preach all the time. You will get tired. One day you will collapse. And when you are in the hospital, those people you are denying that opportunity, they will come and do it. Allow people opportunity for them to grow. Allow people around you opportunity. Give them the opportunity to grow. And people will say, why will I give him now? He will learn and he will go. See, in life, somebody taught you. Somebody gave you opportunity. And you are where you are not with that person. Give another person opportunity. Let me tell you, out of 10, there will be one that will stay. There will be one that will come back. So don't be mindful. If anyone doesn't come back, it's your social responsibility that you have released to the world. Somebody will do it to your child somewhere, someday. So try as much as possible. Empower your employees by saying no to taking on everything and let them say yes. Sir, I can do it. I know you've been successful at this, but I can do it. Okay. Another reason why you should say no is to let a bad idea die. It's hard to say no when you want to be nice to everybody. You want to be bobo nice. So you see some people say, look, let's encourage everybody to speak out, speak out, speak out, speak out, talk, and you want to be nice. And so everybody is talking and bringing ideas. And you're bringing ideas. And because, but if you receive any idea that will cost money or it can harm the brand, you should be able to at that point say no. Let a bad idea say no to a bad idea. And don't, because you want to please people, take on an idea that you know will be detrimental to your organization. If you offer the employee or whoever brings it up, since we're talking about workplace now, if you offer your employee a good reason for saying no, it can have an upside, a positive side. If it offers you an opportunity to clarify the company objectives, your objectives. When somebody brings a bad idea or when everybody is speaking, listen to everybody. But it gives you now opportunity to clarify, this is our own objective. This is what we want to achieve. So don't accept anything that you feel that is bad. It might not be totally bad, but it's bad for your organization at that time. It is bad for your unit or your department at that time. Okay, so when you offer explanation, the reason why we are not going to take on this idea for now, it gives you opportunity to clarify what you want and what ideas you are looking for from your team. Okay, you should also be able, we've talked about, to let you say no to bad idea. You should also be able to say no to good idea. So also be able to say no to a good idea. I know it's a little harder to learn to say no to good ideas, but listen, this might be the idea that will move your project to the next level faster. This might be the idea that can help you but what are the cost implications of accepting this idea? I know the idea is wonderful, but what are the cost implications of you agreeing to it? You must do your homework, do your calculations, check it. Can you afford it? Are we able to afford it? If the answer is no, then you must let that good idea go. Will that good idea fit into what we're doing right now? If not, let that good idea go. Do we have the manpower? Do we have the resources? Do we have the time for this good idea right now? If you check all those things, the cost of implementing this good idea, your company can afford that overhead right now. If you don't have the manpower, the thing with good ideas, as you bring in good ideas, you also bring in people to manage. You bring in people to operate it. If you don't have that resources, you don't even have the time because you people are busy, then you might not be able, do not take on that good idea. Okay? Directing labor to pursue this idea might impact another arm of your project. So you must look at it from a holistic point of view. This thing that I want to do, if I accept it, even if it works for us here, is it going to affect any arm of the organization, affect another project? You must be able to look at these things, count your costs, look at it, look at the benefits, the pros and the cons of what is bringing this idea in the workplace. Don't just say because it sounds nice, another company have done it. You know, you can bring in consultants, they can give you statistics. This company has done it, this company has done it, I think you should do it. And they're giving you all those statistics, it's fine, it worked for them. But you know your organization. Is it going to work for you? Check all these things before you accept a good idea. If it's not going to work for you, no matter how brilliant the idea is, say no to it. Remember, as a leader, you have the information that the rest of the team might not have. So even if your team member is saying, sir, let's go for it, I think it sounds nice, let's try it, you have all the information they might not have. So you should be able to say, excellent idea, but it cannot work for us, and you say no. Saying yes might have a far-reaching negative effect. In this case, stand firm and say, guys, I know it sounds well, it sounds fine, but I might have to say no to it. Okay? It might be for another time. But when you say no to these things, please document this idea and put it somewhere. Because you said no to it now, doesn't mean that it might not be yes in the near future. So document it, keep it as a suggestion that you can look through when the time comes. Okay. Another reason why you should say no is to show your value to your clients. I really like this one because when a client hires you, you want to make them happy, and whatever way to do that is to agree with their ideas and give them everything that they want. Yes, we should make our clients happy, but to what extent? Yeah, when you do everything your client wants, you become popular with them. But what happens when you come up with a client, when you come up against a client with an idea that will be harmful to their organization and to also be harmful to you as a person? Let me explain this because it's tricky here. When you're working with a company, I've seen it when I'm doing consulting with a company, because everybody is involved in suggestions and methodology that will work for the organization. So when somebody pitches or brings out an idea, you know this idea will be harmful to the organization. Instead of pleasing them or pleasing the client, say, okay, let's go for it. You know that this thing will not work. You need to speak out at that time and say, sir, your idea is excellent, but I don't think it will work now. You know why? Because when things go wrong, you will be blacklisted. And they say that, but you are the professional. We got you as a professional. You should have given us the professional advice. A client, we were subcontractors to a client in a construction site. So the owners of the main contractors came and said to us, do this work. We want it in 1 week, when we know we need 3 weeks to do it. And that anything contrary to that might damage the foundation, might have an effect on the foundation of that, the substructure of that building. But they wanted it done in that way. Other contractors were doing it. At least some contractors were doing it. And since that was the end of that particular phase, because they were giving out the jobs in phases, and at each phase is part of the agreement that they can take away, remove you from the contract if you're not performing at that stage. So there was a lot of checks, and the way it was presented to us that if you can't do this magic, then you know that we'll terminate you after this. It was quite tempting, because the next phase was going to be the phase that will be more profitable, more lucrative to us as a company. So I checked it. I said, tomorrow something can happen. By the time they are commissioning this project and this site, and if they see any crack or they see anything, they're going to go for who are the people. If they come for the main contractor will say, we contracted these things to experts. This is the company we contracted it to. And that might, you can get sued for doing a terrible job. So do not compromise the integrity of your own handwork, the integrity of your business, because integrity is what makes you last longer in business. So at that particular point in time, you should be able to advise your client, this is what I think, and let there be mail trails that are showing that this was the advice you advised them. So if you advise them, there's a document, both mail, there's a written document that is submitted. Sir, this thing that you're asking, this is the likely consequences. You pass it on to them. If they are wise, smart, they can say no. But if they say go ahead, there is documentation to show that you objected and they said no. You move ahead. If you're already in the middle of the contract, you move ahead, but you have documents to show. But if you have not started the contract, you can advise them and say this will not work. And at that point, if they say go ahead, you might consider. They've not committed any money to you. So at that time, you might know the kind of client. These people might put me into trouble. Let me back out now that I've not started. At this point, anything that will be harmful to your own business, to the integrity of your handwork, please be mindful of it. And anything that will be harmful to your clients, even if they don't know, please let them know. You need to learn to say no at such times and justify why they hired you as a professional. Do not be a yes man because you want to prove that you can do it. See, you can collect that money and say, after all, maybe I will just do is what they want, but it will affect you tomorrow. It will affect you tomorrow. Don't be a yes man. You know why? It will cause the client to respect you more. It might be tough to walk away, to say no at such points. But when you do it, tomorrow you might even lose the job. But tomorrow that client will respect you because you stood your ground and you say, sir, this thing will not work. Instead of me to be the one that will allow you to go ahead and do this, sir, it's better I will not proceed again in this contract. They will respect you because you are truthful and you stand your ground instead of being a yes man and pleasing just because you want a contract, just because you want to stay in business. Please be mindful of the things that you do when you have a job at hand. I don't have that time to go into details of how it can hurt you, but I tell you, I've seen a lot of people regret doing something. You can have a contract of 10 million, and at the end of the day, you'll be in court and you end up spending 30 million naira to be in court for 10 years than just say no to a job. So please, anything that is not right, speak up on time and say, no, I don't think this is good for us. Okay, there are ways to say no. There are ways, this is the second part, you can politely decline and say no at work. Okay, there's a technique to say no, and I'm going to give you a few techniques that can help you to say no. All right, so the first one is to listen. Listen first. The last thing you should do is to interrupt someone in the middle of their conversation to say no, 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 no. Please, it's not nice to do that. This will show that you do not value them or the time they put into that idea. When you have a staff that come and say, sir, I want to talk to you. I think that we can do this, do that, do this in this company. And as he's talking, he said, no, 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 I don't want to hear this. What it shows that you don't even value him as a person or the time he has used to put in creating that idea. Instead, give him the time to talk. Let him get to the end of it. When somebody gets to the end, at least people are always happy when you give them the opportunity to vent their frustration or give them the opportunity to say what they think is their innovative idea. And when you have listened all, you can now tactically and in a wise, with wisdom, in a tactful way, and not decline or tell them we can't do this, because of that. So one of the first steps to declining is to listen attentively to what they're saying. Okay, when you listen to them attentively, you now go to the next step. Ask questions. Questions not only show that you are paying attention to what your employee is saying, they might end up revealing something else you are not even expecting. I've had an employee come and tell me something as he's talking about an idea, and I'm even asking questions. I realize that idea can be incorporated into an already existing policy. I realize that this can even be adopted for another department. So in your asking questions, you yourself, you're learning things that you can use elsewhere, even though you know that as the person is talking, this thing will not work here. But give them, when you listen and ask questions, the more you're asking questions, it means that the person is happy. It's like you are paying attention to what they are saying. And because you are paying attention to what they are saying, they will say more, and you might learn one or two things that you don't even know that is coming out of it. So ask questions. So we listen attentively, ask questions. The third one is, now you've heard what they have said. They've said everything. Make sure at this point you give a very good reason, a very good reason why you are saying no. Just saying no is not good enough. Tell your employee or whoever is saying all these things to you the reason why you are saying no. This will not only help them understand, but gives them the confidence to approach you in future with ideas. You see, because the idea did not work in this at this time, does not mean that this idea will not work tomorrow. So when people know that you gave them a listening ear, you ask questions, that means, okay, that this man is paying attention to what I'm saying. Then once you have heard those things, you now give them a reason. Then you can now start your UN speech. You know, UN speech, the one that you are putting somebody on the line, you are using sandwich. You will tell them, oh, interesting, excellent thought. Then you now say that I don't think that it will work. Then you encourage them at the end of the day and try as much as possible. Give them the opportunity. Let them live their confidence. Encourage them. And at the end of the day, you tell them that it won't work now, but I've noted it. Thank you for coming to me. It's important that your staff understand that they can come back to you with ideas in future. If not, if you just tell them no, even before they finish, they won't come back to you again. And even if they see something that will work in your company, they won't come back to you. Why? They say, oh, God doesn't listen to us. Or God doesn't hear anybody. He's not ready to listen to anybody, you know. So, and if you don't give them a good reason, they will say, this one we are trying here, nobody is even listening to us. So give them a good reason. It will boost their confidence. Okay, end your no with encouragement. This is what I mean by sandwich method. This is particularly helpful when it was a good idea that they have said, that they've given you. Say no, but compliment them and thank them for the good idea. Sir, this is an excellent idea, but it's just a pity that it might not work with us now. Then after you have said that, after showing appreciation, you can now tell them, okay, it will also signal to them rather that you are happy to hear their ideas and encourage them and say, look, please keep up with this thing that you're doing. We're not able to handle this right now, but I think just keep it up. People approach me and say, look, I hear, can you invest in this idea? I know the idea is good, but I know that this investment is not for me. So, but I encourage them instead of saying, no, I don't think that this investment can work. I don't think that your idea will fly. No, encourage them. Somebody has put in time to come up with an idea. Encourage them and say, look, yeah, your idea is great, but I don't think this is a good time for me. But please keep up the good work. Somebody out there will needs this thing. So continue to strive, continue to move on. And I know at the end of the day, somebody will buy into this thing that you're doing. Encourage them. Don't just terminate and kill and kill someone's or diminish somebody's morale because you just want to quickly say no. It is not right. People will not come back to you. So these are some techniques and that you can use to just politely say no and wiggle out of it. Please be clear. I have told you use the sandwich method, but at the same time be clear. If you must say no, say no. Say no in the way that they understand that you are saying no. Not maybe, let me think about it and let's see how it goes. Or you talk like Nigerian politicians. We'll see in the not too distant future. When a Nigerian politician tells you in the not too distant future, forget it. It's not happening. It is unfair on yourself and on your employee or whoever if you are not going to say, you are not going to say no eventually, but you keep dragging it. Okay, come next week, let me see. Let's see, in fact, let's see in a month's time. You are just giving because you don't want to hurt them. So you are just telling them 1 week or this. It is hurtful. When you know you are not going to accept the idea, you know you are not going to accept the person, In a polite way, tell them it will not work. As they are leaving you, they know that you have said no. Don't be nice to everybody. Be polite, politely decline. That's why I've given you these steps of how you can politely decline. Listen to them very well. Ask questions. Let them know that you heard them. Then you begin the process of declining to the point that you tell them, no, I don't think this will work. But your idea is excellent. You know, it's just that it might not work for now, for me, or for the organization. So they know that they are leaving you know, but you encourage them. Pump them with encouragement, encouraging words. Let them leave you popped up. Their confidence is not down in any way, because this idea might be for the next person. And you never know, somewhere in the future, you might need that idea. So please be clear and let people know. Also, this also implies with your kids. Learning to say no is highly beneficial, especially when you learn how to do so without permanently closing the door. If you say no, don't close the door for people having access to you, your employees having access to you, because tomorrow they might have the idea that might turn your company to become profitable, and you have already shut the door. They won't come back. As a leader, you take many decisions after considering options and with a good reason. The same consideration should follow your decisions to say no. Then let me now just talk to parents. Please learn to say no to your kids, both the male and the female. Learn to say, you bring rivalry between siblings when you say yes to your daughters and say no to your sons. There are homes that rivalry is there between the boys and the girls. Don't say the girl is, I'm a man, this is my daughter. They say men are attached to their first daughter. I think that syndrome, that thing has gone with our fathers. Please let it go, let it be buried. Every child should be dealt with based on merit or based on, do not show your kids that you like one over the other. Do not show that you say yes to this. Say yes or say no. Let it cut across board to everybody. Let them know that when you say no, please also give them a good reason. Don't just say no to your kids. You say no. My kids will ask for things. I'll tell them we simply can't afford it right now. Let them know that it's not every time that there is money to be able to do what they want. Don't say you want to be a good father and you put yourself under pressure. That your kids ask you for something, you have to. A guy was telling his colleague, give me 10,000 because this is weekend. My kids always want me to come back with something. Kids, every kid will always wait for you and be looking at your hand. But you don't have anything. Are you now going to put yourself under pressure because they will not be able to, daddy, welcome, what did you buy? You don't need to put yourself under any undue pressure because you want to be this. Let your kids realize that not all the requests will be met. Surprise them with your yes. And they will value your yes more. Because sometimes I just say no because I don't think you are asking too much. This thing is not for you. Then you can just ask me, when your kids feel that, well, they just want to ask, not because they know it won't work, and you now say yes then. And they will be screaming because they now know that yes is valuable to them. They realize that they cannot have it all the time. Please, even to your spouses, it's not everything that is yes. Even to the single guys, like the ones, some of them here, tell your spouses, your girlfriends no, or boyfriend no. It's not every time you say yes, but please say it in a tactical manner. Never say no to hurt somebody. Say no. After saying no, you encourage them. There must be something that is backing your no. See, I end with this. When you are able to say no, you have started living. There's a peace that comes over you when you have the ability to say no in a polite way. You can tell your parents no in a polite way. See, not every request your parents make that you're going to. If not, you have kids. Family drains you more than external family. Your extended family drains you more than your family inside. Oh, your mother call, your father call, your brother call, your sister call. Then all of you by yourself, you have made yourself the breadwinner, not only of your family, but extended. If anything happens to you, they will move on to the next person. They will leave, and you are in the hospital because you are slaving for everybody. You can tactically tell your parents no, because if you keep telling them yes, they will think it's there. If you keep telling your family member, okay, let me see what I will do. When you tell somebody, let me see what I will do, you are telling the person yes. The person will leave there and say, okay, let me give him 2 weeks, I will come back. Learn to say no politely to your parents. Learn to say no. If you want to give them 20, 30, 40K every month, you have done your bit, especially if you are not the only child. This is what I can give. Any other request, if you cannot do it at that time, you politely decline that I might not be able to do it now. So they know that you are not able, and they will not put you under undue stress. Saying yes to everything, you are putting yourself under undue stress. And you are slaving for yourself and slaving for people that don't even know that you are slaving for them. They just think that my brother is doing well. You are doing well in public. At home, you are not doing well. You are doing well before people. And when you come back home, you know that you are crying. You are going to come back home and be drinking the gari there. Please, there's a peace. When I learned how to say no, peace came over me. You know, peace that all those things that you are not able to say, when you're going to meet this person, you say, oh, how am I going to tell this person no? Then you meet that person, you now tell, you know you are supposed to say no. Then afterwards, okay, let me try, because I respect you. And even when you are before someone you respect a lot, you should also be able to decline tactically. Withdraw yourself from anything that will give you stress. See, when you learn to say no, I tell you, you will add 5 kg because you will sleep well at night. You are not taking anything that is bothering you. You just say no politely and you wriggle out of it. You will live longer and you will not give yourself high blood pressure. There are many ways for you to be able to tactically say no. I've given you some few points. Please, life is too short to carry on more than what you should carry on. Learn to say no. Let this be a starting point. Let this be like a project I've given to you. You can learn more on how to say no. Gradually start it. It might be difficult at first, but start it, and after a while, you will grow in it, and God will give you wisdom on how to wriggle away from certain things so that you can make out time for yourself and your family and live that life that you want to live. Okay, God bless you guys. I end with this slide before you now. There's a closed group I'm trying, of people I mentor to greatness every day. This closed group is for The Princes Are Coming. It's a pet project that's been with us for a long time at Marketplace Apostles. We call it The Princes Are Coming. It was an instruction given to us, a commission we are running with from Psalm 68 verse 31. The princes are coming out of Egypt, are coming out of Africa. When you see Egypt in the Bible, it talks about Africa. Ethiopia will stretch forth a hand and praise the Lord. So it's for the next emerging entrepreneurs, leaders in the marketplaces of Africa. So it has started, and I want to open a group. I've opened this group. You will see the link on this slide. ucheonochie.com. Linktree. At the bottom right, you will see visit linktr.ee, Linktree, but it's linktr.ee/Uche Onochie. Click on that, go use that link. It will register you into a platform, either Telegram or WhatsApp. Perhaps you should do both. On WhatsApp, you can respond to some of the things I do. On Telegram, you might not be able to respond effectively like that. So what I'm doing is I've opened it up for a certain number of people. After a while, I close it. And this number of people are the people I'm going to use for the test project of The Princes Are Coming. I'm looking at to do 500 people thereabout that I want to use as a test project for the emerging leaders, because Marketplace Apostle is one of the channels I believe God is using to raise emerging leaders in Africa. So now I want to do something. Before I started my personal finance trainings and courses, I used a young man, and I always use it in some of the trainings that I do. I use this man as a test case for me to be able to know that you can actually transform someone to become a multimillionaire. I use this man. And so now I want a situation. Some of the people in the group already have known me for a while. Some others don't know me. But now we can all grow together, because as I contribute to your growth, you also contribute to my growth. We can grow together in this group. We can grow together to an extent that all of it will be beneficial to both of us. So this closed group, I'm going to begin a serious mentorship. So I want you to share this link. Share this link to whoever you feel that is yearning. He wants to emerge out of one level to the next. Share this link. I also have books at highly discounted rates. I have podcasts, I have ebooks, I have courses, I have trainings out there on ucheonochie.com. If you can follow this ucheonochie.com/shop, you will see some of these items. They're highly discounted. And for those that will join this group, they will get free ebooks from time to time, and also they will get highly discounted rates or some of the things that I do. I might not be able to train all, but say everything, but I've already said this thing over the years. A lot of people have been transformed. A lot of multimillionaires have been raised from this platform, and some of those experiences is what I share and I give out there. So please join this group, this closed group, and invite someone. Please share the link and invite someone as we start. We're growing the number, but very soon we will start serious training about it. Then, as before I leave, I want to talk to you about Wednesday Live. I have Wednesday Live. It is called Uche Onochie. What's on your mind Wednesday Live. So I come on live to answer specific questions. So if you have questions, you can just put it in my DM and ask questions. I will come on Wednesday by 4 p.m. To answer those questions. And it's very important. There, I'm not teaching on any particular topic. So in areas of personal finance, career, business, leadership, marriage, relationships, you ask me any question and I will come out there and talk about it. So I hope to see you on Wednesday. If you have questions, you can ask me on Wednesday. Just send the questions to to my DM, and we'll be able to answer you. So I leave you now. Have a good night rest. God bless you. Bless you guys. Good night.